What's happening, everybody? Kevin Madison here for the Grilling Savant. Now, today's recipe video is a banger, especially if you love steak. If you love steak, this one right here is going to become one of your favorites. I guarantee it. It's simple, it's easy, and it's delicious. And you're about to learn to make it right now. So let me tell you what ingredients you need so you can know how to make the best steak kebabs you'll ever make in your life. Now, if you love steak, listen, if you love steak, stay right here. Why? Because this is the most bomb steak recipe kebabs that you're ever gonna make. The ingredients are simple, it's easy to make, and when I say delicious, listen, folks, let me get to the ingredients. Make sure you pick up the ingredients to the T, a teaspoon of each except on the soy sauce. But you're gonna need a teaspoon of Chinese five spice, a teaspoon of sesame oil, a tablespoon of the soy sauce. You need a tablespoon of garlic, minced garlic. You need a tablespoon of fresh cracked black peppercorns, tricolor in fact. And then here, this is a little secret ingredient. It's brown sugar, but it's ground very finely. The reason why is because you don't want to scorch or have the crystals when they're larger burn and, just alter the taste of this recipe. So you ground it up fine so it still gets that sweetness. You got some olive oil, you've got some white onion, you got a sweet yellow pepper, and then the star of the show. The star of the show is one of the best cuts that you can have for kebabs. It is the top sirloin. Why? Because it has just enough fat to give you moisture, to give you flavor, but it's just filling. It's a lot of good meat here. So I'm gonna cube these up, use the marinade with the amount of ingredients that I have, and you got yourself the best kebabs you're ever gonna see, you're ever gonna make, you're ever gonna taste. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to construct the marinade. Very simple ingredients. Make sure you don't deviate. Use variants. Use the exact ingredients. It is time. So we're going to take our olive oil. Now, our olive oil is our binder. Now, I'm eyeballing the olive oil, but I want to make sure that you coat it to where every single piece has enough on it. You don't want to drain or drown your meat, but you want to make sure that every piece has enough oil on it so it binds and has all those ingredients that we're going to use adhere to the meat. So let's start off with our Chinese five spice. We're going to use a teaspoon of that. It's going in. We're going to use a teaspoon of the sesame oil. It's going in. We're going to use that tablespoon of soy sauce. It's going in. Then we're going to take the teaspoon of our minced garlic. It's going in. Then we're going to take our fresh cracked peppercorns. It goes in. Remember, it is pepper steak. And then we're going to take the finely ground brown sugar. It goes in. So after we add all the ingredients into the bowl, it's time to whisk. All right, folks, so once you're done whisking, you want to get it to a glaze and you want to let it set because now it's time to prep the veggies and then finally the steak to get it all in there. Now we've got our marinade constructed. We've got our veggies cut. Now it's time to put everything together. So what we're going to do is after we set our veggies aside, we're going to go ahead and cube up our steak. Now this is very important. You don't want to cut your steak too small and you don't want to cut it too large. You want to cut it into perfect 1-inch cubes. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do that. Folks, this is about an 8-ounce piece of meat. What we're going to do is going to take one of our pieces of meat and we're going to do it very simple. It doesn't need to be difficult. You want to take it and find the center and you want to slice right down the middle. Very easy. Take your time, and it's very important that you have a sharp knife. Dull knives create accidents, and we don't want your cooking experience to have any kind of accident. So we want it to be enjoyable all the way through from prep to table. So you want to cut it straight down the middle, and that's going to give you the best opportunity to cut just very beautiful 1-inch cubes, and that's what we're going to do here. So we go 1, set it aside. You go 2, set it aside, and that's the size you want right there. That's it. 1-inch cubes of beautiful meat, ready for the kebabs, ready for the original 3-way skewer. Take your other piece of meat, and you're going to go 1-inch pieces. Get those cubed up, and folks, it is now time to get everything into that marinade that we just made. And once you see how beautiful it looks, you're going to know before it even hits the grill how bomb this recipe is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the veggies cut, we got our onions, our peppers done, we got the steak cubed up, we got the marinade made. It's time to put everything together. Very simple. Give it one little final whisk, and then get your meat in there. Get it all in there. Every cube you want in this marinade. You want to hit the meat first before the veggies go in, because the meat is the star of the show. So give it a good mix. Give it a good mix. That glaze is going to go a long way. Don't worry if you feel, or don't you think that a little bit of glaze is not enough. It's going to go a long way. You'll have more than enough to coat the meat and the veggies. Look at that. Once you get all the steak mix, it's time to then get your veggies dumped in as well. Okay? And give those a toss in with the steak. Now you don't have to, you don't have to go ape crazy and mix it to where everything's flying out the bowl. So just take your time, because it will fly out and you will have a mess. So you don't want to be messy when you're making your food. You want to keep it nice and tight. So just get everything mixed and it'll be fine once you start to skewer it after it's marinated and settle a little bit. But just make sure everything is coated. After you give it a few tosses, this is going to go in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to construct our kebabs, but not just any regular kebabs. We're gonna be using the original 3-way skewer, my baby. Now, why am I so excited to be using the 3-way? Not just because it's mine, but because of what you're able to do when you use the 3-way. See, when you use flimsy metal skewers, your food flips and flops, it spins and turns. When you use wooden skewers like this, your food flips and flops and spins and turns, but they also break, or you may get splinters in your food, and you gotta soak them for 20 minutes just to get burning. With the original 3-way, there is no waiting, there is no spinning, there is no turning, there is no flipping, there is no flopping. Everything stays once it's on the 3-way. And let's get these kebabs loaded so you can see it for yourself. Now, this is how I do it using the 3-way. I start with my peppers first. Why? Because the peppers allow me to make like a bed to house the steak and then the onions. It's a beautiful thing when it all comes together. Just watch. You want to follow the same exact pattern. Your peppers first, okay, to make your bed. And then you're going to take your steak. You're going to take one of those beautiful cube pieces of steak. You're going to slide it right on there. You want to do it as evenly as possible. You don't want to rush. Watch this. Now, the tines on the 3-way are sharp, not razor sharp, because we don't want people getting cut, but sharp enough to pierce any kind of meat that you think you want to grill. So with this particular steak, it's a very, very meaty steak, so it's going to go through easily. There's not a lot of intermuscular fat, so it's not going to be tough. This is a beautiful cut to use. So when you use this cut on something like the 3-way, it glides on easily, and that's what you want. So we're going to go ahead and continue to construct the kebabs. We got our steak. We got our onion. Now, again, you want to make sure you do this as evenly as possible. You don't want to rush. You want to make sure everything looks pretty. I mean, again, when your food looks good, it also tastes good. It tastes better. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we have a fully loaded up original 3-way with that pepper steak, the sweet yellow peppers, the onions, the marinade. We've got the nuttiness of that sesame oil. We have the brown sugar. We have the garlic. We have the cracked peppercorns. Once it's loaded, you'll see that everything will stay. There won't be any kind of flipping and flopping, spinning and turning. So you're going to get an even cook. And now keep in mind, the way that the original 3-way is designed is to transfer heat all the way from the bottom of the tines to the tip. So everything cooks evenly on the inside, as well as getting that nice sear on the outside and that char on those veggies. I'm telling you, this is gonna be the bomb steak. And it's gonna be even more bomb because you're using the original 3-way. Look at that. Nothing comes off. See that? And when you're finished, we're going to use the food release lever to slide it right off into a plate. Wherever you want, wherever you desire, it'll be ready to come off with ease, almost little to no effort, because the original 3-way is designed to make grilling kebabs an easy process where you can just simply enjoy what you made. And I can't wait for you to kiss the grill. We are at the grill. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is the sizzle. The initial sizzle is what literally gets you excited, what gets me excited. This burn session is going to be epic because this pepper steak, we mixed that marinade, we got the peppers, we got the onions. It's about to be bomb, but pay attention to this sizzle. What we're going to do is we're going to let it cook for about 2 to 3 minutes each side to get a perfect sear. Look at that. Look at the loaded up 3 ways with the pepper steak. You see the peppers, you see the onions, you see all that marinade on the steak. Look, 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 look. The best steak kebabs you're about to have in your life. Now pay attention to the sizzle, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this. Watch this. Come on, man. Now, folks, so what you want to do is let the steak cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, get you a good sear, and then we're going to flip it. And watch how beautiful it looks when you flip the original 3-way. I'm telling you, you're in for a treat. And if you got your own 3 ways, then you already are following along and enjoying this right along with me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the food is done. The burn session has ended. It's time to eat. But first, before we eat, I want you to enjoy the sliding off of the food using the custom food release lever on the original 3-way skewer. Now, as you can see, everything stayed once it was on the 3-way. No spinning, no turning, no flipping, no flopping, as you can see. Now, watch the magic as we remove this steak. You ready? You simply put your finger through the loop grab. You grab hold of the food release lever, and guess what? You pull and push at the same time. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Come on, man. Come on. Look at that. Perfect steak done. Char every piece, onions, peppers, everything. It's about to go down. Folks, when you stick food or any veggie, whatever you want on the 3-way, just know that it's always going to be easy to remove because the food release lever has grooves in it that align with each time, so there's no uneven removal. Everything not only just removes evenly, but cooks evenly. It looks beautiful. This is the most off-the-hook, baddest skewer on planet Earth, and you need to get one. You need to have one and enjoy the best kebabs you've ever made every single time. Look at that. And it's effortless. It cleans up nicely, so when you're done with it, stick it in the dishwasher, completely safe. This is the original 3-way skewer that just made the most off-the-hook pepper steak that I'm about to enjoy.